All right, my beautiful, benevolent warrior brothers and heroine sisters of love and light, just as forecasted, the areas I called got hit with basically exactly what I called. I said it was, I believe I said 4.4 to 5.2, 5.3, and both of these areas, and both got hit. Very close to the areas I got called. This one is exactly at the area. Again, it's not about being right, about being wrong. It's about showing you proof that we all have the ability to forecast seismic activity transfer. And both of these, see, same around same time or so, 55 minutes ago. This one was 71 minutes ago. But look at the magnitude, exactly the same, but the depth it is quite different. This depth is a little bit higher up. This one's deeper, but same exact magnitude, almost around the same time frame. And this area keeps getting hit really hard. I mean, it's basically it quite frankly is despicable how awful it is. I've never ever, and I've been saying that quite often this past year, but there's so many new records being broken. It's insane. But this, I mean, I hope no one ever gets to see this again, especially because what this is the precursor of. This is evidence that something massive is about to occur. Okay, for one, all these are within the last 7 hours. I called it. I called this. This is nowhere near done, but I called it the last prior update only about 4 hours ago that this is going to start dwindling down, that the average this is always at is around 13 hours, sometimes even 16 hours, meaning that's how less, well, a long time ago, because lately, since 2017, has been amping up. Those hours have been getting smaller and smaller. What I mean by this is before, when it was 13 and 16 hours, it meant that this list was populated within a 13-hour time frame, for one. Okay, two, the biggest one was this. Most of them were this size. Okay, not only, so get that, all right? All these dots and circles were all small. Like this. These right here, this information here would be the norm. And basically in those areas in California and stuff, that's the norm. But all this other stuff wouldn't be, especially these sizes and especially not these frequencies, okay? That's very alarming. That is very scary, guys. And I said it on the other video that this is going to start going down, and eventually, most likely by the end of the week, right now it's Wednesday, by the end of the week, this is going to, sometime maybe later on tonight, maybe 2 days from now. Right now it's Wednesday. We have about 4 days until Sunday, the end of the week. And I said that this would go all the way down to 4 hours, maybe even 3 hours, meaning that's how frequent there's going to be so many earthquakes, okay, being populated in this list. And it's a long list. This is at least a good 60 earthquakes. 60 listings, okay? And most of them, the crazy thing about it is most of them are at an average of 5.3. That's unheard of. That is ridiculous. The highest ever average has been like 2.3. And this is only starting. It's gonna keep going for at least another 6-7 hours at this rate. And if that, hopefully it doesn't get worse. And again, all this is happening in one general area for the most part. And I have an image earlier where there was a blatant, not an image, even video footage. It was a blatant cross. One stripe that way, one stripe this way. All of them were at 10 magnitude. As you can see, they still are. Meaning right here, look at that area, right? Second line from the bottom. All of them are at 10. That tells you that this is extremely deep epicenter, or is energy blasting through the earth and is blasting through, and somehow it's reading it that is beyond 600 kilometer magnitude, because they're limit is 599. When it goes 599, beyond 599, meaning beyond 600, it goes to automatic 10. 10.0. As you can see over here. 10.0. There's no need to put the zeros after. Okay, after the point. Unless, whoa, this is not good. And look at that, Butte. That tells you that this is a volcanic area. And look at that, -2. This means this one too, -2. Ooh, somewhere near the same area overall. But you do know what Washington is full of, right? Washington is full of also literal volcanoes. Mount St. Helens is there. There's it's on the west coast, so it's all by the San Andreas Fault and all that. So a lot of volcanic activity. And look at that. This tells you that this is above ground. This is 2 kilometers above ground. That means this is on a hill. It has to be. There's no way that it's in the sky, right? This is negative sea level. So that means it's above sea level. That means this is on a hill, on a mountain. Let's check it out. And sure enough, it's on a butte. Look at that. That does look like an old volcano. That's an old volcano. It looks like a lake. That has to be an old. Yeah, see? This is an old volcano, guys. It's waking up. So it's above ground. That's very high up ground. Let's see if anything else comes around that area. And the other one was in Washington. Look at all these. All these are volcanoes. These mountain peaks. I never noticed this for some reason. In a straight line, almost exact spacing. That's crazy. That goes to show you rhythm is in everything. Goodness. That is crazy. I never realized that. And it keeps going down, 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 all the way to Mount Shasta. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That wasn't Mount Shasta, the last one I pointed, but I'm just saying. So this must be, yep, -38, that's one of them. This one's 23 depth. So it's this one. What is there? This is, well, I guess this can be up. Not really, man. This being, unless that's a lake up above, and it's not. That's the ocean. This is weird because this can't be that high of elevation. So why does this show that it's that high? This is weird. That means somehow this earthquake happened on top of a tower somewhere in this area. Because it's above. But this area is not above. Look how close it is to the ground. To the ocean. Look. How is this negative nearly 1 kilometer, well, nearly half a kilometer above ground? That's so weird. Anyhow, goodness, this is scary. And this is potential for tsunamis. Many tsunamis. All these hits, all of them, man. These are, especially above 5, there's potential for tsunami. That's at least a 2 possible for various reasons. It can cause landslides underwater, which will create water to displace, because it still has to go somewhere. The land is moving under it, so the water has to move as well. Some believe it or not. Look it up and you will see. Look up the Helena slump, Helena, Helena with an H, Helena slump in Hawaii, in the southeast coast of Hawaii, the main island, the big island. And you will see that it has happened before and caused a worldwide tsunami. Look at that up. Look up worldwide tsunamis and you will see that they have happened before. Many, obviously not recent, but many have happened throughout the history of mankind. Worldwide tsunamis. Helena slump created one. There's Krakatoa, I think, is another one that created one a long time ago. Then what else? The caldera up there by Canada and Alaska, that loop up there, that collapsed once before as well. That created a worldwide tsunami as well, and is predicted to both Helena and the last one I just mentioned up by Canada and Alaska to happen again. Not anytime soon, but it can happen sometime soon. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen within the next 80 years. It could happen within the next 700 years. Who knows? But from this point on, it can happen at any point. And then with all this energy happening, are you kidding me? And then all these islands. This tells you that these are mountain peaks, okay? And they became islands once the water rose many, many, many of thousands of years ago. So that tells you that these are just like the Hawaiian Islands. See? There's Hawaii up there. So here in this area is the Helena slump. And what happened is from here it drops down all the way down to, what is it, like 16,000 feet? It's an insane amount of just a sheer drop, almost straight down. So that can easily break off again and again and again. But that has happened before. Once that breaks off, it just sends a tsunami. And it goes everywhere like a sound wave. Okay, so that's little Jackie Jack outside chasing the ravens. But shout out to Mr. Raven. You know who you are. My spirit brother, soul brother. So here we go. And then with this, I'm telling you, it's gonna happen somewhere around here, because all these, like I said, all picture that being like Hawaii. These are mountain tops. These are volcano tops. So one of these, even right here, exactly where this area is at, this is probably a volcano coming up. One of them can shear off like it did somewhere over here. Look it up. Not too long ago. I think it was like 3,000 years ago, or even less. Actually, I think it was actually in the 1800s, and they created a worldwide tsunami. Obviously, it didn't. That doesn't mean that all the way over here there was a 9-foot or 300-foot wave. No, but the pressure of it was recorded. It was noted. It was noticed. Obviously, over here would have been like 9 feet. Who knows? I don't remember the exact numbers. But by the time the information, the flow, the energy of it, the force of it got over here, it would have been nowhere near a foot. But it still reaches, because it's like a sound wave. It never stops. Once it hits something, it bounces off and it just keeps reverberating. And then eventually, sorry, I had to listen to what's going on outside. There's a helicopter passing by. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like an airplane falling or something. Anyhow, so lost my track. Anyhow, so just wanted to show you guys that. Again, it's not about being right. It's about what I forecasted showing up already. This one and this one, because remember there was a epicenter here, and I said that the circle here is going to be hit right there, right where that little armpit divot is at, and then around the Guatemala, El Salvador, Central America area, and that's where they got hit with the same exact magnitude, for the simple fact of what happened in the antipodes, which are these two. Okay, actually, no. This antipode is this one here. So this is the one, this energy I believe is going to blast through and is going to cause, I can't believe this is very quiet here, it's going to cause Etna, most likely, Mount Etna to erupt. Pretty crazy, more than the usual, but nothing insane, but still, you'll see that it is going to be remarkable of a eruption, okay? Something a little more than what the norm is. And a few earthquakes in these areas here. Nigeria, Algeria, possibly, which is kind of rare, even though there is a fault line under there. It's kind of rare to get hit in Spain, and there hasn't been that many earthquakes out there in Portugal. But I think they're gonna get hit. Obviously, these areas are gonna get hit because they get hit often. You'll see eventually, and but I have a feeling that the energy is gonna reach Mount Etna and is gonna erupt, which is gonna be a good thing because I don't think anyone's gonna get hurt. But if that erupts, like I'm saying, that means a lot of energy, a lot of pressure is being released, which is good. Then that way these can dwindle down. All these, this is insane to see these many above 5. Most of them are above 5. Especially in this area. And there were some that were, what was it? 7.8, 7.9. But like in my prior, in that area, in the same area, 7.9 was the highest that they recorded. But I have Mr. Raven, my friend, he's the one that noticed it when it was happening about 9 hours ago when it first started happening, and he noticed that the highest was 8.6, I think 8.7, that was noted when it first started to come out before the USBS started to change them up to very, very low grade, to downgrade them. And he said that the average of the few that he's seen, that I seen, that the video that I showed you shows, that the average was technically 8.4, and I believe it, and that's what I felt before he even mentioned anything. I had a feeling, like, knowing these numbers that they're showing, they're obviously downgraded numbers. They always downgraded at least by a 0.5 magnitude, meaning by half a magnitude, which is a lot. And they shouldn't do that. That's a blatant lie, and it makes a big difference. It's weird how they do that. The USBS and the whole world has to follow. All the other countries that have their own, they kind of basically have to follow because, in a weird way, they're the standard. So anyways, yes, so hopefully, just please, doesn't matter where you're at, please at least look into the 5 stages of grief, because if it's not you, someone you know might need that information, and if you understand it, you might be able to disseminate it to them and help them understand that in to the fullest, and you ameliorate their dissonance, their pain, and they'll get over that grief that they might be feeling them personally because what happened to them or someone near them or a lot of people that they know because of all this scary information that's here, man. This has never happened before. Never. Not these many 5s. This is very scary, and this is only getting started. This is hasn't shown one sign that it's about to dwindle. I mean, this is only 2 hours ago, and this is already it's still showing that big. The first one showed 7.9, and that's still the lowest fake report that they put. And even that's a lot of information. That's way higher than this. Man, this is scary. Anyhow, gotta get going. One love, one life, for together our light will shine much brighter. Peace may be with you at all times. My name is Jesus Nedzaya Medina. Hopefully I have entertained you enough, even though I brought you some pretty concerning news. Gotta get going. One love.